The reason why many of us feel stuck or unfulfilled in the life that we are currently living is probably because the way we're living our lives does not align with these values.
Have you ever found yourself craving more meaning in life, but you're not quite sure what that actually looks like for you? Until you figure out what your core values are and what is important to you, you will feel like you're living out someone else's expectations. Knowing what matters to you is key to living a life of alignment and feeling like the things that you do in life matters. What if life wasn't about chasing more, but about getting closer and lined up with what actually matters to us? How can we then use our core values to guide us to live a life of alignment? If you value freedom and flexibility, you're probably not going to be very happy in a rigid 9 to 5 that leaves no space for creativity or spontaneity. And if you're a creative spirit who values creativity and self-expression, you are probably not going to thrive in a lifestyle that only rewards productivity and efficiency. Suppressing your real desires to keep up with expectations can make you feel disconnected from your sense of self over time. That's why knowing your core values is especially important when you are finding yourself to be in seasons of transition. When everything around you is shifting, your values are going to be the inner compass that keeps you grounded. They help you make aligned decisions, say no to what doesn't serve you, and help you to stay connected to your sense of self even when your environment is unfamiliar. Remember that you can't live a life that feels like you if you don't know what you actually want. So today I want to invite you to slow down with me to uncover our core values and get clear on how they can be a guiding compass that guides our decisions toward a more intentional life. Make yourself a cup of tea or coffee and let's take some time to journal together.
Now I've got this list of values put up on my computer screen, and I'm just going to really quickly give myself 1 or 2 minutes to pick up maybe like 10 to 15 values that I think resonate well with me and who I am at this point in my life. So let's go ahead and see. Liberation, commitment, compassion, competence. That's also cool. Here I've highlighted about 15 values on my screen. So they are adventure, ambition, authenticity, balance, connection, courage, creativity, excellence, faith, freedom, growth, making a difference, nature, success, and well-being. I know sometimes when we do this kind of list, feel like, oh no, I value friendship as well. Not highlighting it doesn't mean that friendship is not important to me. It's more like, what guides your day-to-day decisions? If you had to pick either friendship or ambition, are you going to spend this chunk of time doing activities that would deepen your friendships, or spending that time building a side hustle of your own? A really good line they have here on my screen is, if everything is a core value, then nothing is really a priority. And that is very true. Alright, so now that we have 15, let's try to focus and narrow them down into the words that really encompass the nuances. For example, I have both adventure and nature highlighted. If I were to really think about it, I would probably pick adventure more. I value the sense of adventure and trying new things out more than nature itself, although most of my adventures are out in nature. So we're gonna put adventure. Faith is also something that I have recently been spending a lot of time on. Connecting with God and exploring my relationship with Christ is something that I do every day. My faith is what guides me when I have to make decisions in life. That's one way of seeing how your values are a compass to the paths that you take. So we have 2 right now. Let's see what else is kind of in a similar group. Authenticity, balance, freedom, maybe well-being as well. They are under this bracket of having autonomy in making your own life choices. I think I would go with authenticity, because when you're real about what you really want, then all the other things will kind of fall into place, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'll put that. Authenticity. So there are also a few on my list that are linked to achievement and ambition. So there's ambition, growth, excellence, making a difference, and success. Oh, this is difficult. I think ambition means you have dreams. Excellence is more of like work ethic. Growth is like a mindset. Success is like almost like an end goal type. Making a difference is the impact on others around you. I feel like I value the process more, so I'm gonna put growth. Last one. I'm overthinking this. I'm gonna put connection. I mean, reminder that the values that I write down now can always change, and depending on where you are in life, and also writing them down and picking these values doesn't mean that this is who you are, and it's just a guiding compass. Okay, these are my values.
If you're a 20-something trying to figure out what it means to live with intention, I get it. I spent over 20 years in my home country trying to figure out what it meant to spend my 20s wisely and meaningfully. I took a leap to move abroad and slow travel full-time, and now, after experiencing a less conventional lifestyle in the past 2 years, I share the messy and meaningful moments of this journey as I try to build a lifestyle around my values, and I would love to have you come along with me.
Something else that I really found useful at the same time was also to journal about this question. You meet yourself in 5 years' time and you get to ask them some questions and think about what kind of questions you ask this future self. I am going to reference one of my journals and test and see if the values that I list out are aligned with what I say to this question. I wrote down, did we manage to monetize on YouTube? Are we now able to make a living without a full-time job? And are we financially free? Are we able to incorporate our multiple passions and hobbies? Are our contributions meaningful? And do we wake up excited to start our work day? Is our career or work life bigger than just being able to earn money? Do we enjoy the people we're working with? Do we find someone that we are deeply in love with? Are we making intentional effort to build a community around us? And are we practicing to serve God and others? Do we get to have the freedom to craft our life? Have we been discipled by people we trust and look up to? So I think these questions are able to reveal what we really care about. So from this, I could kind of gather that I value being able to have stability financially and also the creative outlet to be entrepreneurial. Time freedom is so important to me. I desire to meet like-minded people who share similar values. Okay, so that's connection. Meaning is very important. We see ourselves earning lesser but feeling more fulfilled when we care about the work we do. Making a difference might be more important to me than growth. I think I'm gonna swap that out. Instead of growth, it's gonna be making a difference. Being able to share my successes with the people I love is important to me. I think I'm going to put success, but in the caveat that success doesn't have to be making it really big. Success to me could look like, success could also look like having the time freedom, having the autonomy to decide how my day-to-day looks like. I'm feeling pretty good with this one, so we're gonna stick with it. And I mentioned a lot of having, mentors, having people to model, people that have values aligned to me to look up to. And I think that all falls under the faith/community part, so I'm just gonna solidify that. It's funny that I didn't really write anything adventurous in questions to ask myself. I guess I really can't see life without adventure, so it's very ingrained in me already that I didn't even question whether it was going to be part of my life. Okay, I am very happy with this list right now. So to recap, we've got adventure, faith, success, making a difference, and connection. I think one good question after doing this exercise is looking at how these values actually guide the way your life is right now. How can you tweak your current lifestyle to a life that's more aligned with what you actually want? Because when you know what is guiding your decision-making process, then you can take actionable steps. The reason why many of us feel stuck or unfulfilled in the life that we are currently living is probably because the way we're living our lives does not align with these values. Now that you know your core values, you can use them as a compass to see how we can take steps to build a life that is more intentional and more aligned to what we actually value and what we actually want in life.
I'm curious what you guys came up with, and if you found these journal prompts to be helpful in envisioning how you can attune yourself more closely to what you value, drop them in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, share this with a friend who you think might also benefit. Till the next one, bye! I wish I had more time.